Hello everyone, and welcome to this unboxing video for Deep Madness by Diemension Games. This is a Kickstarter board game that involves miniatures and of investigators and monsters as you explore an underwater mine in a futuristic kind of setting. Most of the monsters are very Cthulhu inspired. So honestly, I equate this game to Mansions of Madness, but with combat. Now, it doesn't function like that entirely. It doesn't use an app like the second edition of Mansions of Madness or anything like that. And so it's kind of more like first edition, but also there's no one controlling it. It's a little automated, but you'll see once I get to more stuff. But things are kind of like on your turn, you activate this, you control this monster, and then you control that monster, and this person controls that monster, and so on and so forth. But yeah, it's campaign-based miniatures game. You know, that thing I have on here a lot. But regardless, let's get to this. Haha, there we go. Plastic wasn't breaking to begin with. So, this is one that I've been waiting on for a while. I ordered it somewhere between Dark Souls and Kingdom Death. Neither of which I have everything from. But this, they ship everything for. I actually didn't already know the rules from it because they had them on PDF in advance. So, kind of like how I did with Dark Souls. Come on, box. I was just saying that there's boxes that are flip pops, and I really appreciate that more. Woo, black inside on the top. So, go straight into it. This is a heavy game, by the way. Everything involved, including the 4 large expansion boxes and the 5 small boxes, and a couple other random things here and there, which I ordered nothing extra, just the baseline, here's all the game mechanics and, you know, actual usable models, was over 20 pounds. So it's a lot of stuff here, and this core box is still pretty heavy. Regardless, here's the manual. The probably now second thickest manual I own, because Kingdom Death is basically a book. Not like an instruction booklet. A book. Not the point, but here's that. So, no real art on the inside or anything like that. Then we've got what looks to be most of the miniatures right off the bat. So, all the monsters are the gray ones. You're the brown ones. Let's get up close to some of these. Ah, tape. Why are you my enemy? Except when I need you. Oh god. Oh god. Hold things together. I don't think tape will help with these characters' insanity. Holding their insanity, or their sanity together. Haha, words. Come on. 4 pieces of tape are really unnecessary. Regardless, sorry about that, but here we go. So, nice clear lid to hold them all in place. I'm gonna like this once they're painted. But we've got all sorts of different kind of monsters. The details on these, from what I've seen in pictures, now that I'm seeing them up close, so far already agrees with the fact that these details are very nice. Again, apologize about the camera. I will be painting most, if not all of these, so eventually you'll see details. And I do plan to do a full detailed overview of this board game. Also, their second Kickstarter is about to start at the time of filming this. Thus, probably has already started if you're seeing this shortly after this video coming out. Long after, sorry, it's already ended, because that's the way Kickstarter works. Tentacle face. Tentacle face. Zombie-like tentacle face. And we've got these bat-like things. These hook tentacles with legs? I don't even know if they have a mouth. Who needs a mouth when you're made of otherworldly stuff? These things that basically have a tentacle for a face. Some crawly monsters. Like, this stuff looks like things combined with like a combination of Call of Cthulhu-esque monsters and Dead Space. I wouldn't be surprised if that was their aim. And then there's a bunch of these little crab spidery things. They don't have bases. At least not in this insert. So they might be elsewhere, but they have spots for as if these aren't here. And then we go on to the investigators. So we've got a doctor dude, maybe a scientist. They also all have subnames as if they were just like the Arkham characters do. which I'll be able to go over. And there are a lot more of all of this in this order, but for now we're just doing the core game. Soldier kind of person, I think. Yes, definitely soldier, dog tags and everything. I'll make sure to show their cards when I get more to them. It will probably be some time till I get around to doing painting videos of these, so that's why I'm trying to show these off to begin with. I still have to post some Kingdom Death ones and then try to get some other things done. But that was everything in that tray. That's a lot already. Alright, now on to the game itself. Alright, so we've got 4 layers of punch-out boards. Oh, and there's more cardboard and more miniatures. Yeah. Bigger ones. Yay! Big minis. I don't know how big these minis might get. I don't think that big, which is a relief for once. Like, I love big miniatures, but that better be because they better be big because they have a lot of detail, not to convey size. So we've got health tokens, what I believe are madness tokens. I don't know what these green ones are. Hatches, because doors are an important thing in this, or as they're referred to as hatches. Ooh, I don't actually remember what a lot of these are. I read the rules about a month ago, but you can see all sorts of different kind of things. Handprints, which I believe is their form of clue tokens. All of these are double-sided in one way or another, like the blank one here was this one. I think that's a drowning marker because flooded rooms are a thing in this game. A big thing. Because again, underwater mine. Secondary punch-out board of the same exact thing, and a third one, although the hands on these two are different colors from the first one and each other. Everything else looks exactly the same. Then we have one of the... This is basically the Doom track. I think it's called the Devourer track or something like that. But this is basically your counter on the game. And these circles here actually punch right out. And they're not meant to be placeholders, so this is a hole. These are intended to be pieced together like a puzzle, with these swapped out. Like, these are just blank pieces. These are the important part. Oh no, they're not blank pieces. I forgot they do actually have numbers on them. I forget exactly what that's with. I think that's something to do with, like, the horror level. Something to do with monsters. Then we've got a bunch of number things that have skulls on the back, a brain in a jar, 3 researcher or medical tokens. They have to do that one, the first investigator that I put out. He has a mechanic unique to himself that these work with. Some more drowning or oxygen dials, if you want to put it. They're the ones with the blank on one side, numbers on the other. And then a few other tokens that I don't remember. I did not read any of the scenario stuff, so I don't know any of the scenario-specific mechanics or pieces. The rulebook specifically explained those tokens with the one guy as those. Then we've got what I'll refer to as 2x2 boards. They're about the same size as the Mansions of Madness medium 2x2 boards. Which again is another reason that I equate this. The big difference is you don't slowly explore the map. The map is completely uncovered. And one of the big things with this game is, here's the normal sane side. Instead of having double-sided boards where it's one side is different so you can use it as an entirely different piece, unfortunately, you can't do that, but instead, it has an entirely different representation of the madness side. This has been devoured. Things are already going wrong. I believe one of the lose conditions is if every tile is devoured in your setup. I could be wrong. Then we've got some 1x2s. I don't know if there's anything bigger or smaller in the expansions, but this is clearly all there is here for the core game. And this does the same thing of normal color on one side, red and spooky on the other. But bunch of different hallways. This should invoke some things of like aliens and space movies, even though it's underwater, because it is definitely more of a sci-fi focus. I do have a very aliens-like, as in, holy crap, how is this not a copyright infringement game getting to me eventually? But that's not what we're here for. I'm just going to show one of these little base rings. They are intended for the monsters. There's colored ones that I will also show off for the investigators. These are kind of like what they had for the heroes in Zombicide or Zombicide Black Plague. But what they have is they have a little marker here, or a little placeholder, to hold the amount of damage or something like that. Then we have the ones for the characters. These just go on the models. They're not permanent. These ones don't have that little placeholder. They're just to designate clear who's what color, especially if your models aren't painted. Then we have some standee stands, some pegs for those drowning wheels, some dice. There are mostly, the red ones in here are 1d6, six-sided dice, which the 1, 2, 3, and 4 are just standard numbers. The 5 and 6 have a different icon. They are the same icon on both the 5 and the 6. There, my camera focused. Haha! I don't remember if that's designated as a hit or something else. Then we have a D12, which I don't actually remember what this is for. I'm assuming different monsters tell you to roll this. I do need to double check the rules before I actually get to playing this. Then we've got some more miniatures. These are the larger-esque miniatures. And the tape, thankfully, didn't stick on one side, so that was quick. We've got a few of these things with a bunch of mouths and maws and stuff. Like, these literally look like they're made of bodies, which is why they invoke a vision of Dead Space instead of Cthulhu-esque, but they blatantly use some names of Cthulhu monsters, like Dagon is one of the expansion monsters, or sorry, one of the expansions in itself. There's this one, there was 3 of the previous one I showed, but the rest of these, there's only one of each. Something very almost bat-like, except it's got a bunch of arms, and it's got another head on the back. Didn't know that about that one. And then this thing, which looks just like a mass of fat glued together with appendages of sorts. That's the rest of the miniatures. These are in fact going right back in the box, because I'm already running out of room, and this is just the core game. Yay! Alright, then we've got some small cards. I believe, nope, hatches were punch-outs, which might be what those standees were for now that I think about it. In one of these boxes, I should have plastic standees as some of the stretch goals, and you could have ordered more. Same thing with, you could have ordered more dice. 2 of these are just blank. But the first 6 are character cards, investigator cards. These are not the ones with the details on them. They are just marking who initiative order and who controls which monster for the turn. Because, yeah, they do stuff like that. And that's more like Kingdom Death Monster Controller. You're the person who rolls for this one this time. Then these are the monster cards. This back here, the monsters spawn randomly from a deck that you can just mix together. And then these are the random room ones. And it's, I believe, referred to as the Devour deck specifically. Like, it's draw from this deck to figure out which room gets devoured. And you only include the cards of the rooms that you have, which is one of the reasons that you don't use double-sided rooms. Then we've got 2 packs of standard size cards. Again, I will go over this in a lot more detail later. Both a general overview, component overview video, and I plan to do detail overview, probably mixing this in with, as I do Kingdom Death and the new Dark Souls expansions, the latter, which shouldn't take too long. This looks to be the equipment cards. Yes. So this portion here is basically the item deck, but you've got things like a utility knife, good old-fashioned crowbar. If this isn't included in any sci-fi game, what's wrong with you? Even if it's just this is a thing in the scenery. Grappler, an actual axe, electric rod. Interesting. A gun. Nope, that's a melee weapon. Hydrogen torch, scalpel, and it's not a normal scalpel. Ore cutter, the pistol, which looks not like a pistol. It looks like a rifle almost. SMG, shotgun, assault rifle. That's what their assault rifle looks like. Spear gun, kind of makes sense with all the water stuff. Injection gun, rivet gun, a javelin launcher, flashlight. And then we get into some body protection. Protective suit, sedative mask, depth charges, inner healing. It's actually a badge. I think that, yeah, that's the icon used for a lot of the buffs. Healing syringes, which I believe you start with a number to make the game easier. and then a few other syringes. I'll cover those more in detail once I get to a detail overview. Then we have what look to be story-esque cards. I think these are the equivalency of Mythos cards. Like, oh, draw this to see what the fuck goes wrong. Like, Festering Begins, and then they've all got a story blurb on them, and then an actual game effect. Wither in Agony, it's all in your head. Rupture, Psychosis, Held in Trance. Roiling Meat, They're Coming, Dismemberment Room, Lost in the Void, and then there's more of those than there are here, starting in this. Not going to read off the names of all of those. The Web, Leakage, Glimpsing the Future, Electric Fear, Numb, Abandonment, Warzone. Then we've got... These might actually be story event cards, because they've got specific names and numbers on them, so I'm not even going to read them beyond that for spoiler's sake. People want me to in the future to do detailed overviews for the individual scenarios. I'm more than willing to do those, but people need to ask for that. That is not going to happen without people asking. And then these are blatantly further chapter stuff. I'm not touching those either for the same reason. And then, lastly, we have... Well, lastly in this box, there's two other things. We have larger cards. I believe this is the Investigator monster cards and a few other things, like the actual stats of monsters and investigators. Come on. Ah! Don't make me go mad already. Until I play the game. So we got... Yes, 6 rules summaries by the looks of it. Because this is a 1 to 6 player game. Yay! The various investigator cards, which have their story on the back and then their stats and such on the front. I am going to give a quick show of these real quick because the models were probably blurry. These are probably still a little blurry, but only so much I can do. Sorry, folks. Again, there will be, if you want better views of these, they will come up when I do detailed overview videos. And then we've got the various monster stat cards, which some of these are double-sided because they have an epic version. The rest just have this hatch. Okay, so a couple extra things that came with the Kickstarter that I didn't really have another place to put them. I tried to figure out. There is a brown cat model. I don't know if it's meant to be a brown cat or the model's just brown. I don't remember if this was something extra or if it was a piece that they just forgot to include in the game itself physically. And then also there is a secret gift that they did not announce until some number of updates, like well after the game was supposed to ship originally, but Kickstarter, we're almost a year late, but hey, it's here, for Celestial. And here's the model itself. It should look like that. Don't know if I'm ever going to put this together. I don't remember if this was a Kickstarter they already did, or a game they already have out, or just here's a free promo model. I don't remember, but I might put it together. It looks kind of cool, but I've got other things to do. Like I have miniatures I actually use that I have to put together. But for now, that seems to be all, at least with the core game. Stay tuned for unboxing videos for the other 9 boxes. Some of which are this size. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to press the like button. If you think somebody else will enjoy this, please share this video. Either way, you'll help get this video seen more. If you didn't like this video, go ahead and press the dislike button. I won't mind, but please leave a constructive comment as to why. Also, if you feel like commenting in general, such as you want to know more about this game, or you want me to do the specific scenarios later on, or anything else along those lines, like you have a preferred order of models that you'd like to see painted, go ahead and leave a comment. And if you want to see more like this, be it my unboxing videos, my board game overview videos, or my painting videos, all 3 of which will be happening for this game, and anything else that I do on this channel, feel free to subscribe. Regardless, thank you for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye!